Hey, folks, welcome to the T for Two podcast, where we have your hosts, Josh, and
Daryl
a podcast that talks about things and stuff.
and stuff and things.
How's everybody doing? How are you all? Happy to be here. It's a rainy day, as usual, so happy to be inside talking to you, talking to my friend Daryl.
Likewise, Josh. It's nice we can use technology to actually keep podcasting through the madness.
So, thinking about like everything that's going on in the world and how everything's changed, I heard an interesting fact today.
Do tell, good sir.
So, well, first of all, what are your thoughts about healthcare workers, law enforcement, public officials, basically everybody that is has always been like for the population, putting themselves out there and trying to help, all of a sudden now getting recognition for that behavior, which has never changed?
I was just thinking about this the other day. Um, like, on one hand, like I totally agree. I think that I don't know. It's kind of strange that just now it's brought to everybody's attention. Sometimes I guess it takes
Um, I think you
just
might
how
have some.
some mic problems. Don't worry, I fixed them.
Okay. So
No,
go ahead. What were you
but
saying?
on the other hand, like it's awesome that we're appreciating all the healthcare workers and everything like that. But like, I think I really appreciate the people that are staying at home as well and that have been so affected, like their jobs and their lives, their ability to pay the bills have been so affected by this. Like, and they're still a lot of them are still fighting for like keeping the community safe. So those people are heroes too, you know.
Yeah, it just kind of like blows my mind that I mean, it's like a huge surge of gratitude coming towards like these people that are in these like essential positions, which is nice, but at the same time, like they've always been there and recognition has never been there. But now that there's like this huge pandemic, all of a sudden everybody cares about
Yeah.
which is it kind of gives me like a negative aspect, I guess, which maybe isn't the best way of looking at things, but at the same time, I'm thinking like if you guys are so thankful for you know healthcare workers and police officials and like the whole time, why did you never show it before? Why is it now that it's kind of like okay, to put it in a different because I feel like I'm not making my point very well. To
Oh no, I definitely understand.
put
I
it in a
think
different perspective, it's like the people that only pray to God when they're in need, you know?
yeah,
It's like
it is.
go ahead.
It's kind of sad that it takes something so big to make it so that people appreciate what other people around them do for the community. And it seems like on one hand, it almost seems like human nature that we don't really notice something great in our lives until it's affected in a great way. And I think your example of like people not really caring about God or their religion until they need God's help, that's a classic example right there that people just don't really care about things until they're affected profoundly, you know?
Yeah, and so like for me to see this level of like gratification for people that are considered essential, um it's almost like I don't believe you. I like I think it's fake because
Yeah.
as soon as this pandemic goes away and everything goes back to normal, we're not going to see this level of gratification towards essential employees anymore.
Yeah, man, they're not going to keep sending us cookies and stuff like that after. And God darn it, I want to keep up on the cookie. No,
I
but I feel that.
I
Like,
know.
it's kind of worrisome to think about when this is done. Are people just going to go back to disrespecting healthcare workers, but especially like disrespecting police authority? Like, there's so much disrespect for our police in society and what they do and what they go through for our communities.
Right, and I mean, I don't mean to be a downer, obviously, but at the same time, I feel like this is something that's probably on a lot of people's minds, and like I'm not saying that the gratitude should stop. I'm just saying like let's not forget about our essential workers after all of this is done.
I agree. I think that it'll be important for people to try to remember what we've learned from this and how important. I mean, everybody really is in the community, including healthcare workers, and how like what we go through, especially when you get a lot of people in the hospital that don't realize how crazy hospitals usually are. Um, and now we're just realizing that. And as a hospital, as somebody that works in a hospital, or that people that work in hospitals are like, well, it's been crazy the whole time. You just never noticed it.
Right, exactly. And it's like now that there's the COVID, obviously there's more focus on like PPE and like the fear that those healthcare workers must feel when they're going into work and have to like intentionally expose themselves to these patients while everybody else is like hiding away at home, which is good. That's what they should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of moving forward to my actual topic was
Oh,
the well, I said I heard like a statistic earlier today that was kind of um, interesting, and that is people that are out on the roads are being more aggressive and less cautious,
oh my gosh!
and
It's
it's resulted in more fatalities.
Oh man, have you noticed any aggressive driving behaviors?
Oh yeah.
Because I have.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I definitely have. I almost got hit by a car on my way walking back to my car from work yesterday.
Yeah,
Literally, it
it's crazy. People are like running red lights for no apparent reason and like just like bats out of hell, man. Like trying to, I don't know, get home or get to work or whatever they're trying to do, but they
joyride.
yeah, they don't want to be on the road.
Yeah. So why do you think this behavior has happened? I've been
um
wondering.
I don't know. I think part of it kind of fits into like a social aspect of like maybe they have some fear of being essential, or maybe they are just like mad that they still have to go to work and deal with this on the front lines. I'm I'm
People who
not
are afraid and angry.
I'm not sure, but I think it's probably like some sort of stress outlet for them.
Part of me has wondered as well if, and now I'm kind of thinking maybe it's a combination of things that are causing people to behave like this. But I was wondering if it's because there are a lot fewer police on the road. I think I don't know how police have changed their jobs because of the pandemic, but in Detroit, I think there were like 300 police that got sick and weren't able to work. So have heard there were less police on the roads. So maybe people are kind of thinking they can do whatever they want,
Oh
you know,
yeah, no, that's
drive
it.
however they want. Because I saw a semi truck blow a red light on on a busy street. I saw a semi run a red light on a busy street the other day.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
wild, man.
You totally almost blew that one.
You like that? You like that cover up? Brodenhagen, you know,
Bratenhagen.
it runs straight through central Kala Kosia.
Right next to the golf course.
It's a very busy street, you know. You
Is
shouldn't be running the red light.
lots of people. Lots of people there.
Pedestrians everywhere, cars everywhere. It's very busy. But yeah, no, it wasn't like just a little red light. It wasn't like, oh, it just turned red. It was like everybody else was slowing down because it was red for like for a while. It
It
was red.
started
And the
with
semi truck's just like, nope, don't see anybody. Just going to keep going.
Nice.
So yeah, either people are mad or driving like maniacs because they want to be, they think there aren't police around so they can do what they want. Or maybe it's a combo. It's a combo meal.
Yeah. Which brings us back to the original discussion of free McDonald's for essential
I
personnel.
think that's the real discussion here is where are the hot free items for people that are working? I heard Bigby's giving away coffee.
Yeah, Big B's giving away coffee, McDonald's giving away food, and North Face is 50% off.
Dang, that's awesome. 50% off, really?
Yeah, that's all I know about, at least.
Dang. There have been a couple different things. It's pretty cool. That's like a positive aspect of all this is you see these business owners that are uniting to really take care of the community. There's someone in a town near me that if for any gift card you buy to like businesses that are really being hit by this, they will contribute an equal amount of money, no matter how much you spend.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Super cool. Like, so businesses that can help have been helping.
I
And
hope
yes,
a lot of these businesses reopen their doors though.
dude, it's going to be a different world. I hope that, I guess I just pray for those businesses that are so affected by this and the families, the jobs are so affected by this.
Yeah.
But it's been good to see how communities have been trying to support those businesses hit hard with this.
Yeah.
Have you been trying to eat out at local places at all or anything?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. Well, not like actually eating there, but yeah, ordering their food.
Sure. Yeah, man, me too. It's a great excuse to spend some money on food.
So we're at about 12 minutes with this topic, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next topic. What do you got for us,
All right. So, Josh, I'm just wondering for all the men and women out there who have beards, how effective are masks? And do beards affect them?
Oh yeah, they definitely do.
So many people out there have been making cloth masks, wearing all kinds of stuff, getting fun with their masks, and I love that. But I guess when I look at it, I don't know the research behind it and just how effective it is. So I did some looking into it, of course.
Okay, good, because I was going to give my opinion, but I don't have any, like, facts.
I would prefer to hear your opinion before I start, now that you've said that.
Okay, yeah, so my opinion is... all right, so it depends on what you're trying to accomplish, right? So a mask, in like, it can be used for multiple different things, right? So if somebody sneezes with a mask on, it's going to be more effective in holding those particles than just sneezing into the air, right? So with that sense, you could have like a stupid mask that's doesn't fit you very well or whatever, and it's if you sneeze into that, it's still going to be better protection for the community than if that person wasn't wearing a mask and just sneezed out into the air, right?
I think that, yes, yeah.
So regardless of whether or not that person has a beard or what, they're going to be helping to protect the community by coughing into their mask or sneezing into their mask versus into the open air because maybe they don't know how to cover their cough. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm wondering. Are people assuming that because they're wearing a mask, they shouldn't be putting their arm their face into their elbow or like turning away? Like, are they just sneezing at whatever they want now?
I hope not. But at the same time, there are still people in this world that would rather sneeze into open air right at things versus even coughing into their elbow, like not like I would feel like a lot of people do know that that's like common practice, but also a lot of people I'm sure do not. So
That's the thing. There's a mixture of people out there, and some people just really don't even care if they sneeze to cover their mouth. And so, by the CDC telling everybody to wear masks, I think that's exactly what they're trying to do is just get them to have some kind of covering so all the germs don't just spray straight forward, you know. But I've also heard a concern like, have you ever heard that when you sneeze in a mask, the particles go like in a force because there's an obstruction in front, they have a higher velocity and go up, down, and to the sides of the mask to relieve the pressure that's created when you sneeze. And so germs spray out all directions anyway.
um I've never heard that before, but you bringing that to attention makes sense because if you think about it like a watering hose, if you have a steady stream of water coming in there and then you cover up the front of the hose and you can make it spray further.
Yeah. So that pressure.
Kind of the same thing, yeah. The pressure gradient building up behind the occlusion.
So I'm curious about that. But to tell you the truth, I did not look into that today. So if anybody out there has any information about this idea, let us know. Get back to us. But what I'd like to start with is I broke it down into like the different kinds of masks because you see people out there with like bandanas over their face, all the way up to people out there who have like the N95 masks. And what's the difference? Is there any difference? Does it matter? And then does it matter if you have a beard? So I found out. I started with cloth masks and looking at those. Um, it's exactly what you were saying, Josh. Is basically the common sense is that if you have something in front of your face and you're sneezing, it's not going to project straight ahead of you and go all over the place. And that's really, I found that the cloth masks really just aren't really to protect you, they're to protect everybody else.
Right.
Thought that was interesting. Um, but in addition to that, surprisingly enough, it is the same pretty much with surgical masks.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Surgical masks at least can block like with a cloth mask. If somebody sneezes on you, that's not great. But so if they're wearing a mask, they're less likely to do that. But with surgical masks, you know, especially people in healthcare settings that are a lot of hospitals are making you wear like the surgical masks when you come to work now. So when people sneeze directly at you, apparently it does stop larger particles from getting into your mouth and nose, which is gross to think about.
Yeah, it's
But
probably a
yeah,
good
so
thing. It's like the once speaking of particles,
speaking of
I'm just
particles,
curious. Are do farts or flatulence contain particles?
I think
Because
those are very
I'm
small
concerned.
particles.
Really?
They're small enough, they're going to get through the surgical mask. You're breathing in fart, you know, you can't escape the fart.
Oh, can you get
You need
sick
gas
from
mask.
breathing in a fart?
There's only one way to find out.
All right, I'll let you know in a couple days then
Sounds like a good research study
if
to
I
me,
get sick
Josh.
or not.
Dear Lord, whose farts are you breathing in?
I don't want to talk about it.
All right, we won't make you talk about that on the air. But yeah, so cloth masks are great for making it so that you're not spreading your germs to everybody. Um, Whereas surgical masks, they're disposable and they are a little bit better at catching those like larger particles and saliva and stuff that you really don't want to be consuming. But they are meant to be loose fitting, you know, they're not perfect. And so apparently, well, we'll go into that. We'll go into the beard part. We'll save that for later. Let's touch the last mask here that you see people wearing really is the N95 mask. I actually thought this was interesting. This is actually extremely effective at blocking. I think it was like 95%. It was over 90% of particles in the air, even small particles. So those N95 masks, they're very effective at preventing you from getting sick and preventing other people from getting sick, which is I thought it was going to be similar to a cloth mask or a surgical mask.
Well, that doesn't surprise me, Daryl.
That's pretty interesting. So
I'm glad that
it's hard to surprise you, Josh.
I'm glad that
I'm
there's
not.
not very. It's a grading, these masks. There's like the P100 masks. There's the N95 masks. Like they don't just come up with these names out of the blue. It's like a grading scale.
It's all about. I wonder what the grading scale is that they use, like how much saliva you get in your mouth.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That that would be interesting to look into for a topic next time.
Yeah.
Is like, all right,
So
so what is this grading scale? Like, what is a P100 versus an N95? Like, that's
do,
good.
is it tested by quantity of saliva received from someone sneezing directly in your face?
So the thing that you were alluding to beforehand is, and I would like you to elaborate on a little bit more, is the fact that you can go out and get a Myers N95 mask. Well, I'm sure you actually cannot do that right now, but you used to be able to. And I would use that like when I was doing like woodwork and sawing a bunch of stuff, or if I was like breaking up drywall or something like that. You wear N95 to protect you. Um, but what about the fit quality? So the fact that you have N95 on your face, does not mean that you're going to be protected fully to the intended effect of that N95 if the mask is not fitting you properly, correct?
Yes, sir. Getting to the main topic that everyone was waiting for: beards. How do they affect our masks? So, with cloth and surgical masks, it does not matter because those aren't really meant to have a tight fit on your face. It's really to protect particles, cloth masks from particles from coming out of your mouth and going all over the place, and surgical masks from is meant to protect just large particles from getting past the mask.
Mm.
But, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a beard, you want to shave if you're going to wear an N95 mask to protect yourself. Because the only way that that mask is effective, it sounds like the only way it's effective is if you have a completely shaven face for it to make contact with. So there you have it. Even apparently, even just the smallest amount of stubble on your face, so like a little 5 o'clock shadow, completely ruins the purpose. I even found something that went as far, a reliable source that went as far as to say that it was completely useless. It was alluding to the fact that there's no point to wear an N95 mask if you have any stubble on your face.
Wow.
Interesting, right?
Yikes. Yeah, I didn't realize that the stubble affected it that much.
I know.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty that's kind of freaky, right?
it's very freaky. It kind of makes me wonder about when I wear an N95 mask. Is there any point?
Well, I
Uh,
mean, because you have to consider that, I mean, they call it a 5 o'clock shadow for a reason. And healthcare workers are working 12 and a half hour shifts. They're still working past 5 o'clock. So should they shave like during their lunch break or what?
That's the thing is my face when I did get fit tested for an N95 mask, and as soon as I came in, I literally shaved 9 p.m. the night before, and I came in probably around 8 a.m. and they said that there was enough stubble on my face where I had to wear basically it's called a papper, which is basically like a hood that filters air and then pumps it into a mask that completely covers your head, basically.
Yeah, I mean, the pamper's going to give you the most effective protection, anyways, right?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not complaining too much about that, but it takes a lot more time to put on a Papper than an N95. Um, but it's too darn bad, It's a lot easier to throw an N95 on, but apparently it's not going to work if you have stubble.
Right.
I found something that I think you would enjoy, Josh. If
Yeah.
you look at our lovely chat we have going, I put in a picture that is the the CDC provides. It's readily available to anyone in the community that literally goes through many types of facial hair, and it has either a check mark or an X for if that facial hair will affect your N95. It goes through like all different mustaches. Like apparently, if you have a soul patch, you're good to go. But if you have a Fu Manchu, nope, that's too long of a mustache, my friend.
Oh, nice. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
dude.
throw this up for the everybody else to see here real quick. So let me just
Yes.
add this here. CDC and oh wait, was that a URL that you sent me or an image?
It's an image.
No, it's a
Do you want?
URL. Um,
Oh,
let me.
it was a screenshot from my phone.
Oh, well, it translated to a URL.
That's weird. That's too bad.
Okay, let me. No, it's fine. I'm just saving, just doing a snipping of it real quick. We're
Nice.
gonna go ahead and save this here. Save. Sorry about the noise. Gonna put this up here for everybody to see. Okay, and all right, and I'll change the scene now. Everybody should be seeing this right now.
So if
If I
you're,
hide this,
so everybody can see it.
yeah, so everybody can see it now.
Nice. So if you're checking out this sweet beard picture, I would like you to take a moment to enjoy the fact that each of these individuals has an N95 on, but also it's like a little clear see-through N95, and there's just a fun beard underneath. And this beard goes into a lot, or this thing goes into a lot of different styles. On the very bottom, towards the middle, there's even a mustache that's called the villain.
The villain, I see it.
And you can have the villain mustache. So, you gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, really be careful out there. There could be a villain walking among you with their facial hair covered up with an N95 mask.
And you
So
wouldn't even know it.
they just are, they walk among us. So be careful out there. It's a hard world. So just on the last topic I want to talk about facial hair. Um, I feel for people when I shave, when I try to do a clean shave, my face is very sensitive. It's just a very sensitive face, and it gets a lot of like ingrown hairs. It gets very upset. Um, so they even I found some information about how you can reduce irritation on your face if you're going to go the route of really just getting a clean shave on your face. Uh, you want to have like a warm towel, like you see in like professional shaves or something like that. Put a warm towel on your face and just get a spa experience out of it, and just sit there for a few minutes. And I guess that's going to open up the pores and make it so you have a lesser chance of getting ingrown hairs. But I also found something I did not know. If you rub 1% hydrocortisone on your skin after shaving, it's been shown to significantly reduce the irritation and ingrown hairs that you can get after shaving.
That
So
makes
there you have it, folks.
sense.
If you're trying to shave, to wear the N95 to protect yourself, if you go that route, do these things to reduce the irritation, and it'll make your life a little bit better.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I love
kind
that.
of a neat life hack. I'm gonna try that out, I think, and see how it works. I don't know if I'm gonna shave my entire beard. I haven't decided if that's the route I'm gonna go yet. Um, but it's good to know this information.
I think so too. Daryl, we're getting close to our 30-minute wrap up time. So, those were our two topics for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Tune in next time to our T for Two podcast series.
Bye, guys. Stay safe.
Bye.